but the cat did get rescued in the end. And we interrupt the story with breaking news. We now go live to big shot reporter Anna Parslov with a story from Beagle Gymnasium. Anna, stop singing that song as it was on the radio.
Breaking news, right here at Beagle Gymnasium. We have very important news. Basically, there's been a class swap, and we need to help the class because they know nothing about the Golfstrømmen, and we have all this information. Come with me, let's go. Today you're going to learn all about the physics and geography stuff that we've been doing for a very long time. I know, it's hard, but you'll learn it, and we're going to help you through it. The stream is like a conveyor belt, right? It moves up and then comes down along the bottom, okay? And I'm going to explain why it does that. The water stays on top. On top of what? Bananas? Monkeys? No. The water's on top of water, right? Why is some water on top of other water? Basically, the water that's on top has a lower density, okay? Why does it have a lower density? There's two factors. Number one, temperature. The other one's salinity. We're going to go into that now. Now we're going to look at temperature and how temperature affects density and how the density affects how the Golfstrømmen works as a conveyor belt, as we looked before. We've got the water on the bottom and the water on the top. We're going to see that now. We've got green food coloring here. This is the cold water. It has a higher density. We're going to put the green coloring in here, and it's going to come down here, circulate around, stay at the bottom. High density stays at the bottom. It's going to come around here, circulate up, because we've got hot water heating it up. The density is going to be lower, meaning it's at the top, and it's going to come around, circulate nice around like a conveyor belt. So basically what we've got over here is the green moving up here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's very faint. The reason it's not very strong is because our heat is really slow. But it'll work. But look at it, up here. We've got a nice circulation going on, just like the conveyor belt. This is going to help you understand the Golfstrømmen. Just like this, except like 10,000 times bigger, we've got the Golfstrømmen. Forwards and backwards, up and down. But this is just temperature. We're going to go into salinity later. We've got an experiment now, okay? We're going to show you how the density works, how there's a difference with salt water and fresh water. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to pour in salt water on the bottom, and we're going to have some food coloring which we're going to mix in with fresh water, and we're going to put that on the top. And you'll see that the salt water is going to stay at the bottom, fresh water level on the top, and that's because salt water has higher salinity, therefore higher density, stays at the bottom. Fresh water, no salt, no salinity, therefore stays at the top. Follow me. Come on. We've got the salt water being mixed here. We're going to have the salt water on the bottom. We're doing an experiment, and as you can see, the salt water has a larger density. We're going to prove that with some fresh water on the top with no salt. Now we've got the fresh water here. The fresh water is going to be a green color, so we can see a difference between them. Okay, you're going to do this experiment later. It's very important that you pay attention. As you can see, we've got the fresh water on the top, salt water on the bottom. That's very important. We've got larger densities down here in the salt water. You can see a difference here, right? This is just like the Golfstrømmen. This beautiful autumn climate in Denmark owes its climate due to the Golfstrømmen. The Golfstrømmen, hey, come here, come here. Guess why this kid, this Indian kid, walking around in a t-shirt, why do you think he can do this? Because of the Golfstrømmen. And I'm going to tell you why. Come with me. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Come over here. We're going to talk a bit about climate change and how climate change affects the Golfstrømmen, and the Golfstrømmen affects the climate. We're going to start with how the Golfstrømmen affects the climate. Basically, the Golfstrømmen comes with warm currents up here to the North Atlantic, moderating our climate. And the opposite effect down in the USA, in Mexico, it moderates their summers and their winters as well. You know climate change, increased solar radiation. Basically, things get warmer, okay? If things get warmer, ice melts. We don't want the ice to melt. If the ice was to melt, the fresh water would affect the densities in the Gulf Stream. Remember how I said the densities is all about that, how it's working, how it's circulating. The densities are going to screw up the circulation. We're going to have like no moderating climate. Everything's going to go out of control, and no, we don't want that, okay? Climate change needs to stop.